So we finally got the Sony X850 or X80K. I'm so used to the old school way of naming these things. Finally got that set up. Now, they talk about road to zero. I'm just gonna call bullshit on that right now. Look at all this plastic, plastic, plastic. Oh wait, there's more, don't worry. It's all over here in the back. All this plastic. Road to zero, right? You know, that's just one TV consumer. You could fill a landfill with the amount of plastic that Sony has planned through all of their customers this year on all of their televisions. So, not a road to zero. This is Sony's new remote this year, so as you guys can clearly see, it's plain, I guess. It's smaller than we've had from Sony before, so you can see it's not a very big remote. This little Sony piece down here at the bottom that says Sony, that's all plastic. The whole remote is cheap plastic. It's pretty hollow. I'll tap it. You can hear it's a pretty hollow remote. It's not really robust or anything. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Roku remotes in size. So yeah, but you know, I don't know. I guess this is them trying to redesign the remote. So if you wanted fewer buttons, there you go. Now we're gonna turn the TV on for the first time and see what it looks like. So, the TV is now finally on and we're just gonna go through what we see here. I'll lower down the ISO so you can see everything on the screen as it is, but it is to be noted that I do see some clouding of this area here on the left-hand side. Probably open up my ISO just a little bit so you can see that. It's definitely looking like really gray-black, not impressive at all. So yeah, that is something that I am seeing. Again, it is what it is. We'll see if that changes once we actually get to using the TV, but yeah, that's what I see so far. So when you open it up, it'll ask you the country that you're in. I'm gonna select United States. Then it's going to ask you to select your region. Again, I'm gonna select the United States. Now it's gonna ask you Google TV setup or basic TV setup. And of course, if I don't wanna sign into my Google account and all that stuff, I'm just gonna go to basic TV setup. Now, a little note here for everybody, Google is changing, I believe around April 22nd or something like that. If you have Google Play, all of that's gonna move over to Google TV. And so all of your movies and TV shows are going to be on Google TV. So if you already have an account on Google Play with all your stuff set up, just use Google TV and you'll be good to go there. Didn't know if people knew that, just kind of wanted to kind of help out a little bit in that regard. But for me and my uses here, I'm gonna do basic TV setup. So unfortunately, this is the part where you're met with Google's terms of service. So more damningly, as typical with these Sony TVs and pretty much any TV that has Google TV, you're gonna wanna pay attention to the second and third paragraph. But in terms of all of this, you can't decide that, you know what, maybe I don't want to use these features and I'm going to just go offline, because unfortunately, as you see here, there is no opt-out. It's either agree, accept it, or take it back to the store if you want to get past this menu, because there is no option to skip it still in 2022. And it is the saddest thing in the world that I am the only tech reviewer on YouTube, period, that has mentioned this as a problem and continues to do so over the years. So yet again, I'll be the only person saying that this is a problem. This is something that needs to go away. This forcing consumers to agree to terms of service, even if they're offline, is bogus nonsense that needs to stop. Now, since you have no choice, you have to hit accept on that last one. And then you get to this screen, which is the Google service, which you also have to hit accept. I'm not allowing you to use my location data for anything, so I'm turning that off. And I'm not going to help you improve your diagnostics because, again, you're kind of forcing me into accepting your terms of service. So after, again, being forced into something, I just turn everything off and hit accept. Now at this point, Sony officially starts up for you. First initial thoughts as I see the Bravia booting up, it's got a lot of white spots. There's definitely going to be some work that needs to be done here. Not a black level genius. But this is an important thing to look at because this will give you an idea of how even the step up Big Brother actually performs, the 900K. So we're trying to get all of our ideas as to what Sony offers this year, at least from a motion perspective and things of that nature. I understand they're running two different processors, but we can get a general idea by doing this. So you basically have now this power saving option. I'm just going to turn that off. I don't need any of that. And they're going the route of asking you for cable after that. Then from there, they'll ask you to connect your devices. I'll just say connect later. If it's tabletop or wall mounted, just put tabletop. And they're gonna ask you to do the acoustic calibration, which we can do. It'll only take a few seconds, and we're gonna hit start. And that's basically it. That's all it does. And then you're done with that. So then it says loading, please wait, and then it'll more or less tell you you're pretty much gonna register your device, and then you're gonna be done after this step. Now, as it says adding the finishing touches, the screen's pretty gray. And here we are at the home interface, where again, it's pretty bare bones. If you're not trying to add your Google account, it'll just kind of be this very bargain basement kind of home screen with like next to nothing available on it. So if you were one of those offline users, you just wanted to use the TV offline, this is kind of what you're going to be dealing with. But we've seen this pretty much on all the newer Sony TVs, so that's something to keep in mind. So now we're going to show you guys the store demo of the Sony X80K and just kind of letting you see what the picture quality is all about. Now, as I look at it, it's not anything impressive, as I can say. I'm going to sit a little further back in the room, though, to see if I can't just see something worth a damn out of this image. Like, as I'm watching all of this demo content, I mean, it doesn't really seem like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it doesn't strike you either. You know what I mean? Like, it's not coming out and saying, yes, this is like top tier picture quality. I mean, that looks pretty good right there. A lot of clarity in that shot right there. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we're gonna really have to work hard at trying to figure out what exactly this TV does particularly fantastic, because I'm not really seeing a whole lot of that right now. Especially with the black levels. I think similarly to last year, that's really going to be where you see the biggest weakness with this TV is with the black levels. I can say as far as motion goes, surprisingly, as I'm seeing a lot of the kind of kaleidoscope, kind of like geometric patterns, normally you'd see artifacts where I don't actually see that happening on the Sony, so maybe motion might be good on this particular unit, or on, you know, maybe Sony in general this year. Maybe that's something that they've buttoned up. But that is something that is really impressive, that I didn't see any real issues with motion, and I still am not. So I sincerely hope Sony has gone back to their original ways of motion. But again, this is just like an initial impression, having just unboxed it, set it up, and all that good stuff. So I'll let you guys know what I find. Sound off down below with what you want to see, because we're going to be hitting the ground running. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.